Hi, my name is Irene Bendiok, and I'm going to talk about some learnings and experiences I had in Jyväskylä. Before we left, the teachers made us a question, and it was: Has the BIP enhanced your multilingual and intercultural communication competence? Were there any specific sessions that had a significant impact on you? Or how did the BIP, the sessions, or the contacts you made help you in the effort of making Europe stronger? These questions were a bit tricky, so I decided to create a map in order to guide myself. This is my map about the multilingual and intercultural communication competence, and let's explore it together. On the first session, we were discussing about overcoming stereotypes, prejudices, categorizations, but let's be honest, we also saw that all of us have cultural influences in our characters. So overcome the limitations about stereotypes is more about how to interpret them. If you use them as a reason of distance yourself with someone, or a reason of feeling superiority, or of taking for granted how a person is like, it's obvious that stereotype is limiting you. But in the contrary, we can interpret that differences as channels of curiosity to other lifestyles, other customs, other histories, other pasts, other ways that can inspire us to find other ways of living together. It's like these flowers, like they, all of them bring their own colors to the same purpose, to the same team, to make it more complex and more beautiful. Therefore, we shouldn't view diversity with fear or with judgment. On the contrary, I think it will make us happier if we see it with humility and with curiosity. I think everyone has stories worth listening to, and we can be inspired and learn from absolutely everyone. So, for that reason, it's important to be open minded and to prioritize empathizing with the others. I especially remember with affection the class about the storytelling because all of us had a twinkle in our eyes, and it was an effective way to show us that we are always are going to have things in common. With that objective in mind, I thought about the phrase of the Papa Francisco that said that it's important to build bridges instead of walls. And I deeply think that is true. And I also think that these kind of opportunities, like the BIP Erasmus, are so interesting because give us the chance of understanding others' perspectives in first person, and is a huge opportunity of sharing experiences and sharing nice memories with each other that makes easier to feel that bridge. For example, with these rose in my room that Mihao made for us carefully in the last day, it's so difficult for anyone to make me believe that the Poles are my enemies. And I said the Poles because Michał is from Poland, but I could say anyone with whom I search nice moments. When you have a sum of that kind of experiences, for example, I have been living in Italy 1 year and I made friends of there, and I also made friends here in Valencia with people with other parts of the world and also in the BIP. You realize that you can create links with people of other parts of the world wherever you go. And you realize that you probably will be able to create that kind of links with people of places that maybe you haven't been yet. And this is very important in order to make stronger your sense of peace. It's obvious that it's important keeping the peace, isn't it? But unfortunately, lately it is not as obvious as it seems. For all that reasons, I'm very grateful to that people and I send them a big kiss. but it's not only with people that we can interrelate with. Also, we can have links with culture of other places, like their landscapes or their food or their films or literature or photographs. There are too many things in that world to take care of. For example, I deeply enjoyed about the Finnish landscapes, and I get inspired about the relaxed mindset of the Finnish people that maybe for us in Spain sometimes it's a little bit difficult. I'm very grateful also for that. And the more you feel that the world gives to you, or that there is a large community in which you are a part, that makes you feel a sense of responsibility and a sense of depth, because you realize that every action you do has a impact in a faraway place that suddenly it's important to you. At least it's what happens to me, that the more I travel or the more I know, the more I want to do my bit. I particularly enjoyed the class about the social inequalities or the our sense of Europe, because I think it was a very visual way of talking about it, and I think that nowadays it's so important to enhance the sense of community rather than individualism. So, ending with all that sensations that I'm talking about, I would like to share with you two mantras that I always try to keep in my mind. They are loving and learning. And also in that experience, the way I try to connect with that mantras, it's focusing my perspective in loving humanity and having the curiosity and the flexibility to create strategies to connect with other cultural identities in order to learn. And a key that I'm understanding in this point in my life is that in order to live like that with love and with learning, it's important to find a balance with an active attitude and a contemplative attitude. And for example, traveling, it's a very interesting way for doing that. So, yes, after getting existentialist, I can only say thank you for that experience. Thank you for pushing all everything I was talking about. Thank you for encouraging us to talk and think about the complexity of our world. And thank you for inspiring us to question ourselves. All these are making us grow and develop. Goodbye and kisses.